Hello YouTube. Got a new project today. Just gonna do a little recap on the Mini Cooper. Today we're talking about the thermostat, the dreaded thermostat. I'm not gonna do a full how-to video. I already swapped it out. I'll actually put a link in my description for the two videos that helped me the most. But a lot of people seem to make this way more complicated than it needs to be. So I am going to turn the camera around, show you real quick what I did, not show the whole process, but I'm also going to show you a tool that I consider a must-have for this job, and I'm going to show you a parts store part that helped me out as well. Okay, this is a 2009 Mini Cooper S, so it's got the turbo on it, regular, everything stock on this car. So I'm gonna go real quick speed round because there's better videos showing how to do this. But basically, this clamp, take this tube off, take the air box off back here. You need to take this electrical connector off, take the spark plug wires off, disconnect this ground wire, and there's a electrical connection down there. Disconnect that. Then you're basically wanting to get to this thing to be able to get this loose. Some people disconnect wires over here. I didn't do that. Some people take the whole intake manifold off. I didn't do that either. The thermostat itself is down in here. It's kind of hard to see. I did pop this plenum out so give myself a little bit more room. You got this electrical connector. Got to get this hose clamp off. You can leave this hose itself connected. And there's this electrical connector right here. So I'm going really fast. Down on, there's one more down there. There's electrical connector. That one I just pointed at, it's actually this brown connector on the thermostat. Then the thermostat also has that black connector right there. So it's really that simple. You take off those things that I just showed you, electrical connectors, the air box, a couple of hoses, and you can get to the thermostat. You can get to the hoses for the thermostat. I didn't take the intake manifold off. I didn't take anything else off besides what I just showed you. At that point, I was able to get this electrical junction loose. I saw one video where they flopped all the electrical over to this side. I didn't even bother doing that. I was able to manipulate everything around enough to get all the hoses off the thermostat and to reach back in and change the crossover pipe as well without taking anything else off besides that. So I'm going to show you a couple more things now. All right, so this thermostat here, see it's an electronic thermostat built in. It's got, let's count the hose connections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hose connections on this thing, and it's only got 3 bolts. Those are super easy to do, but the 5 hose connections, it's got all of those spring-loaded clips on it. I'm going to zoom in on one of them and show you. Okay, we're talking about that style clamp down there where you got to pinch it together and to open up the clamp. So those type of hose clamps can be a serious pain. I'm old school. I'm used to the screw style, the worm style with the band that goes around the stainless steel. But these spring ones, they do a great job. They're just hard to work with. And I found a tool that I felt was like 100% mandatory to actually do this job due to all the angles and the tight constraints you're working in to change out this thermostat. So there's actually more than one type of tool to work on those type of clamps. I'm going to show you both, but I really want to focus on the important one. Okay, first you got this traditional plier style that it's just got these flat surfaces that'll clamp on. You just squeeze it down and it ratchets into place. See, and it doesn't want to come apart unless you use the lever to loosen it back up. So it's pretty handy. Clamp those hoses down and then you can move it back and forth and then you can unclamp it to open them up. So they're like kind of a ratchet style. So this tool here, this might get you onto 1, maybe 2 of the hose clamps. Maybe on some other cars where there's some extra room, this will work fine for you. But on this particular Mini, there's a tool that I found that I thought it was 100% mandatory. And I'm gonna put a link to it in the description. On Amazon, it was like, I don't know, less than 20 bucks. And I feel like it worked fantastic. I would call it a must-have. Okay, this particular tool, this is a remote clamp. So it's got this ratchet style handle here. Yeah, clamp it down, it ratchets, you got a release for it. But the important part is out here. So you got these two ears on there. The ears clip on to either side of the spring clamp. And then let's see. And then I'll work the handle there and it pulls it down. It holds it in place until you release it. And you can manipulate this because it's on a cable. You can push it any which way, anywhere you want, all over the place. Haven't done this job now. I feel like that's a mandatory tool. I don't think you could do this job without it hardly. You'd have one heck of a time to get to the underside. Let me grab that thermostat again. Thermostat sits in there like this. To get to the underside, some of these hose clamps are on the bottom. Look at this one down here. To be able to reach that with a pair of pliers, no way. If these clamps were clamped on the bottom side, look at this one in the back, that one there, it'd be almost impossible without having that cable and being able to work on it like that. So what I did with the thermostat, I also did this crossover pipe that goes from the thermostat over to the water pump. A lot of times that's what actually leaks on these cars and that's what breaks. I was having a thermostat issue, but I think it was also leaking from here. So I ended up pulling this out. What I want to show you though, look how this is broken off. So it actually was broken inside the water pump. There was chunks of it, like a whole ring almost all the way around was inside the water pump when I pulled this out. Now back under the hood, like I said, some people pull off the whole intake manifold, pull all kinds of stuff off. I was able to just lean over the hood and reach my arm all the way back underneath the intake manifold to pull off the hose, or pull off the crossover pipe. And I was able to reach inside the water pump and feel that there was that hunk of plastic in there that was broken off. I reached in with a pick. I was able to pull it out with a pick. And then I was able to make sure it was all the way clean. I used a paper towel up inside there and I was able to make sure it was totally clean and ready for the new one. Before putting the new one on, it's got an O-ring on it. I ended up using a little bit of grease. And what I did was I shoved this in all the way. I tried to make sure that I had it lined up correctly, but I shoved that in all the way before I even started thinking about the thermostat. So this is in place in the back of the engine. Then I lined up the thermostat and I just slid it in just like that. And I slid it into place. Then I threaded the bolts, each of the 3 bolts, and I just drew it in and I made sure that these two lined up real nice and tight. There's an O-ring on here, put a little bit of grease on the new one too, and I had no issues doing it like this. All right, I want to show you one other thing. Okay, when you're taking this apart, there's a spring clip that goes right in here. You can see that on a lot of videos online. Now I've read, or I've seen online that a lot of mechanics and people don't even bother putting it back when they put this new assembly back together. But I wanted one in there, and when I took mine apart, it was actually missing. The clip was gone. Somebody had this apart before. I don't know what had happened, but why there was no clip. And I'm working on this on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm like, oh crap, I want to get this car running. I don't want to have to order one of these clips, see how long it's going to take, whatever. So I decided I'm going to go to the auto parts store, just see if they have any kind of universal clip. Thinking, yeah, right, there's no way they're going to have a universal clip. And lo and behold, they did. So I got this at O'Reilly's. This is the, what is it, Dorman Universal Coolant Hose Retaining Clip Assortment. So it's a multi-pack, different sizes. I believe I used the 33 millimeter. It comes with a 16, a 22, a 33, and a 39. The 39 was too big. I think I used the 33 on this. But what I did have to do to get it to fit, let me show you. Okay, you can see on here, it's got these little ears. I had to cut those off. And then this was a little bit long, the way it came from Dorman. So I just had to cut it like here and here to get it to fit into place. And once I got it cut, it popped in and it held just as strong as the factory one. It held great. So you can get this Dorman. I'll try to find this on Amazon and put a link in the description, but I just got mine at O'Reilly Auto Parts. It wasn't very expensive, worked great. I just needed to cut it, and I was able to cut it just with a pair of dikes. just squeezing them and popping it right off. All right, one last thing before I wrap up this video. I wanted to talk about the bleed procedure real quick. So the thermostat's got a bleeder valve. It's right there, right up on top. You just use a long flat blade screwdriver and put it in there. I'll show you where you can see it from. Okay, you can see it right down there. So all I did to bleed it was I filled up the reservoir with the blue coolant, opened up the bleeder, kind of let it sit there for a little bit, try to get some air out, made sure that the reservoir was full. Then after, just let it sit in gravity for a little bit. I started the engine up, just like an old school, just like my old Firebird. Started the engine up and just let it sit there and idle and watch the reservoir with the bleeder open. And I waited for the thermostat to open so that I could add more fluid in. When I had a steady stream of fluid coming out of the thermostat bleeder, just tightened it up, made sure the reservoir was full, and that was it. It was perfect. Thermostat open and close. I had heat. Car never overheated. Everything was perfect. See a lot of guys online talking about having issues bleeding it. I don't understand. It's hardly any different than an old school car like my Firebird. Of fill it up, start it, wait for the thermostat to open. You can feel the heater hose get hot in your hand, and you can see the level drop, and you fill it up a little bit more, and you're good. And this really worked for me about the same way. All right, so this is a pretty short video. And like I said, I wasn't going to go in depth and show you the step-by-step procedure. I wanted to do kind of the speed round. I'll put a link in the description to the two videos that I found the most helpful. I did not follow the exact procedure of either of those, but I took from both of them. And realistically for me, it was more a matter of getting all the electrical connections disconnected. I didn't need to flop anything over or go hog wild disconnecting stuff. I really just needed enough access to get to the hoses and to get to the 3 bolts on the thermostat. Beyond that, I didn't take anything else off other than the air box itself and the plenum tube, but that was it. Didn't take the intake off. I was able to reach around behind it, just bending over the engine and put my hand in there. Truthfully, start to finish, this whole job took me like 2 hours. And now, having done it once before, I know that I could probably knock it out in an hour and a half or less. But it's really not that bad. Once you have an idea of what you're doing and not overthinking it, it's really not that bad. So, like I said, I'll put a link in the description for that tool, for the one with the cable. That one was super handy. I consider that a must-have for doing this job. So I'll put a link for Amazon in the description. I'll link to the 2 videos that I got information off of. And hope this helps somebody out there. You know, this is not that bad of a job. So anyway, as always, if you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.